All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I am back, not permanently, just for a little pop ins, but I had to pop in because my good sis has an event and a big announcement that we wanted to make. And I just love talking to her. I'm just going to be honest. Like, it's always a vibe. She's always a vibe. She's our very own. She is our prescriber. She's our author. She's our host. She's my girl. So I just wanted to give her some space to talk about what she got going on coming up. She has something coming up this weekend. I don't know if it's sold out because you know how when she pop out, she pops out. I got my ticket, so I hope y'all get a chance to get y'all's. But I did
Period.
want to introduce her. But before we do, I just want to say that I have really missed my prescribers. I have really missed you guys. I have a lot going on right now, and so I am going to try my best to pop in and drop some shows as much as I can, but I will not miss a worship Wednesday. So whether I'm here for the book club, whether I'm here for lyrical therapy, whether I'm here for the book babes, I will not miss a worship Wednesday. So if you miss seeing my face, you can always catch me on the third Wednesday with Reverend Michael Blackman, where we will be doing Worship Wednesday each and every third Wednesday. So before I begin with my questions, I just want you to take a moment and introduce yourself to the Prescribed Tribe.
Hey, y'all, my name is Sheridan Dacis. I am an author, independent publisher, and I love y'all real bad. So absolutely I am loving the fact that I'm here. And yeah, I am releasing books again after a little hiatus. So who else would I speak to besides Dr. Tab? Okay, I had to call her up. Listen, Dr. Tab is somebody. I do not come outside for everybody, but I am coming out for Dr. Tab. So yes, y'all, I hope y'all enjoy the interview and y'all support the work.
So for me, this is really important. Having you on is always important to me because I began my writing journey with you.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people know that when and I always speak anytime I speak to a group of people or anyone that comes to me about writing a book, I always speak about your integrity because
Wow.
that was a deciding thing for me. You just move with integrity.
Thank you.
For those of you who've not seen us interact before, I was encouraged to reach out to Miss Davis. When I was writing my first book, Whose Little Girl Am I? And I reached out to her and I sent her some of the things, some of the work, and I told her what I had done, and I was green to publishing and all of that. And so I was willing to pay whatever it is she wanted me to pay because I just wanted to get the project done. And she came to me and said that I will be cheating you if I took you on as a publishing client because you've already done so much of the work that she offered some services. She said she could edit, she can do some other things, but for a business person to say no, you've already done it so much, and I don't want to take unnecessary money for you. I'm a client for life, and anybody that
Thank
ever
you.
speaks about wanting to do something, she's always the first person that I'm gonna refer to because I honor her integrity. I honor the fact that people talk about being godly and Christian, but we should be able to see that without you saying it. And I didn't know her
Absolutely.
from a can of rocks. I didn't know a can of paint. I didn't know that she came from a Christian background. I didn't know that her parents were pastors. I didn't know that she was. I didn't know any of that. I just know that she moved with integrity, and I can see Jesus all over her. And so anytime
Come
you
on,
call,
somebody.
I'm answering. Anytime you need a platform, I'm coming out of hiatus because I just honor your integrity, and I just want to return the favor to you. So let's get to first of all, before we get to the new
Yes.
project, I've
Wait,
been
I'm so sorry.
following.
Before we get into it, can you make the post public? I think it's
Yes, I
only set
can.
for your friends. Okay.
Yes,
Because
I can.
people like I can't see it.
Yes, let me get on there right now. So I can talk. I can multitask too. So,
Yes,
one of the things that for me, I'm not just her girl. I'm a fan. I follow all of her work, and specifically, I started off. I was introduced to her with the church girls.
Yes.
And baby, them church girls had me going through. They took me through there. And
Yes.
then, then you had the little mama. She started taking
Yes.
me through there because then
Uh-huh.
she grew up and went to school and it was just so much going on. And so can you kind of give us just a background of where you've gone with your work from the beginning to now?
Absolutely, absolutely. So from the very, very beginning, my first book actually was about abstinence. So I am abstaining until marriage. I am 35. I'm yet a virgin. We yet holding on. Amen. And so I had a Twitter account that was dedicated towards giving advice about abstinence. So from there, my dad happened to see this account and he was like, Sherry, that's my nickname. He was like, Sherry, you need to do something with this because this is great biblical sound advice and more people need to see this. And I was like, okay. So he was like, yeah, you need to figure that out and figure out how to monetize it. Well, I had just done Tasha Cobb's Street Team, and there I met somebody who was in publishing and in editing, and that is how I got started. So it went from taking my tweets to making a book to me talking about all kind of stuff that I've gone through, whether it's colorism or singleness or whatever. So that's where I started. Now, the Church Girl series is where you first met me, and that is my first introduction to the wonderful world of fiction, and I love it here. I had just lost I'm using the term lost like it's a death, but I had just ended a friendship with my best friend at that time. And that was very devastating to me. And so, what I endeavored to do was write my perfect love story, and also about a friendship circle. I always wanted to have a circle of friends, kind of like living single or girlfriends or something like that. I always wanted that. I never had it. So I that's what I wrote from, and I kind of used some of my experiences, definitely a lot of imagination and some other instances that I've heard from other church girls, and that is how we got that crazy series. And y'all, I promise you Church Girls is coming back. So after I'm done with this book, I will be going back over to finish our final Church Girls book.
And so for me, I know you've probably heard this a million times. I know for me, when as I was reading Church Girl, I wanted to know, like, well, who is this one and who is this and
Yes.
was this you? And I think I might have even called you a couple of times, like, text you, are you someone,
Yes.
like, are you this? Because I was all in, and you couldn't tell me that I hadn't figured it all out. And so and for me, that's the making of a great author, because
Thank you.
it wasn't just about reading. I got engrossed into the world, like I was all
Yes.
in. I was all into this world and what was going on. And I had a villain and who I hated and who I loved and what I wanted to happen.
Yes.
And so for me,
People
that is
still
really
got smoke to this day with our villains. So I love that. I love hearing that feedback. There are people who still are trying to guess, like, is Darian a real person?
right.
Girl, he remind me of this pastor. Is that about him? You got a crush on this pastor? I'm like, girl, I made him up. I made him up.
He's not real. He's not real, y'all. I'm gonna go
Well,
off the
he real. I
screen.
just ain't met him yet.
Right. Okay. We manifesting him. I'm
Yeah.
going off the screen just for a minute because I have to get a charger. But if you can introduce your next series, because we
Okay.
didn't stop with Church Girls. We went.
Yeah. Okay. So sounds good, you guys. After Church Girls, I kind of wanted to do some spin-offs of the series. So we have one of my characters in the Church Girls series is Skylar. She is the little sister of the main Church Girls. And I had her going off to college, and her experience in college, sharing her, she basically came into womanhood. So it was watching people love my creation has been something that I am still in awe of. I'm grateful to God every day of people, of the fact that people love these stories. So Skylar going off to college was basically a coming of age story. And then I told her brother's story, who had gone from being like a street dude to his back to his churchier roots, right? So I had that story going as well. He had a May December relationship with an older girl, And it was just, I really was able, hey everybody, hey mom, hey Jayla, I was really able to exercise my imagination. I've always had a vast imagination from a kid. So taking that imagination and creating stories is something that I am very, very, very proud of. Now, some of these stories have hints of truth or they are inspired by real life circumstances in my life. But it is amazing to be able. Good evening, Brenda. Good evening, Abronia. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Hey, Demaya. Hey, you guys. But yeah, it is amazing and it is a blessing to be able to tell a story from start to finish, and people are visualizing what I'm saying. So to me, as I'm writing these stories, I'm not just writing, I'm seeing them. And I'm seeing beach and I'm seeing these scenes in Chicago. I'm from the west side of Chicago, and I live in the suburbs, and you can literally see that in my stories. If you from Chicago, then you know what I'm talking about. So I am it is a blessing for me to be able to rep our city in these books, and to just exercise my creativity.
And it is creative. And one of the things before we go into why we're really here,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things about the shift to me was your ability to shift from world to world,
Mm,
because literally going from church girls and that college campus was
yes.
a complete shift, and it really spoke to your creativity and your ability to create characters that you may not have actually experienced,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes we write from our space of experience, but some of them characters some of them characters on them
Yeah.
campus was a if you experience that, we need to talk, boo. And so so I
Well,
really want you to.
some things were experiences, some things I made up. I will say that, going to college for me, I went away ish. Okay. I was about an hour and a half away and I was coming back home on weekends because it was a total culture shock for me. I am a 100% church girl. So going from, you don't know like I know, to this,
To
what
drop it like it's hot, bop, drop it like it's
okay.
hot,
I
hot.
was like, what just happened? So I'll tell you that there is a party scene in Church Girls where Skylar goes to this party. See, Skylar is a little bit more quote unquote worldly
Hmm.
than
Of
me.
all the other
And
kids.
so
Hmm.
so there's a party that she went to, and it is word for word my recollection of the first and only college party I went to. I remember calling my daddy from the bathroom like, these people is going to hell. Oh my God. Come get me. This is crazy. You know what I mean? So it was a complete culture shock for me. But yeah, so I was able to bring that back, and I just share some of these stories that are hilarious to me now, and put a little spin on them for the people. Thank
Well, you did a great job. So
you.
I do recall us talking about this next book.
Ooh,
And I
yes,
remember a conversation that we had about who inspired
yes,
this story. And
yes.
I think it's going to shock the audience to know because the name of the book is Illicit Love, right?
Correct.
Yes,
Yes.
and I'm gonna bring the cover up. But before I do, I just need you to tell this story to the people,
Okay.
how you came, who inspired this story and the characters in this story.
Okay, so Illicit Love is a story that I have been wanting to write for years. When I say years, I mean years. I actually, it's so funny that you're asking me this. I look back at my notes section in my phone. I was the first time I wrote a note about this book. I was in Hawaii in 2022. To know me is to know I don't take no 4 years to write nobody's book. Okay, nobody's book, but it has taken me that long to sit down and write. This story was inspired by my paternal grandparents. I know. It is. I can't even say it without laughing. But this story was inspired by them. Now, When I say inspired by, that's exactly what I mean. Of course, I took some creative license, and of course, I had to modernize it. But their struggle love story absolutely inspired me to write this book. When I hear my dad and my auntie talking about them, I'm like, wait, what? This is a motion picture right here. So yeah, I'm bringing it to the pages.
So yes, and so before we dive into a lot about the actual story, you have an
Yes,
event coming up next week.
yes. This
Let's
week
talk
is
about that.
Saturday.
This week,
Yep.
I'm sorry, this week, the 16th.
Yes.
So let's
Okay.
talk about it, girl. What's going on? What's happening?
All
You
right.
in these
First
streets?
of all, Saturday is a blessed day. Okay. I know uh three icons were born on May 16th. The first one is Janet Demita Joe Jackson. I
Whoa,
don't even have to say nothing else.
nothing left, nothing
Okay.
else needed.
Period. Born May 16th. The second one is B Slade, who is the artist formerly known as Tone.
Mm.
Amazing singer, amazing musician. And then you know what? In 1991, guys thought about little old me, and he put me in there on their day. And I said, you know what? I need to be iconic because they iconic. And so I will be turning 35 on Saturday, and I'm having a birthday bash. I'm having a bookish birthday bash. Let me tell y'all, I'm gonna be completely transparent. Y'all, initially, I was going to be going to London for my 35th birthday. I had to cancel the London trip. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing nothing for my birthday. I had been writing at this book for years at that point. And my parents was like, no, you need to celebrate. One thing about us, we believe in a celebration over here. And it was like, no, this is a milestone birthday. You need to celebrate. I was like, okay. Um, Earlier this year, I got an email from Amazon. That's where most of my books are sold. Um, I got an email from Amazon that all of my books have been taken down. No notice, nothing. Thank you for posting it. So no notice or anything. All of my books have been taken off of Amazon. Y'all know, just in full transparency, there is a stream of income. Since Church Girls came out, now that was my fourth book, but that series has been my most successful. There had not been 1 month where I didn't receive a check, okay, from book sales. And for that, they were like, your books are gone, and we're not sending you no Miss Royalties. We're done. I'm like, what did I do? What happened? They said I violated some type of term and condition, and I did not. They could not explain what I did or anything like that. That was very devastating for me. So what I did was I said, okay, I am going to relaunch my career. These are my books. I wrote these. I'm going to relaunch my career. I am going to get brand new covers. The old covers are gone. I hope y'all love them, but we got new covers now. And I wanted to have a relaunch. So on May 16th, everything will be back up on Amazon. You'll be able to purchase through my website, SheridanSDavis.com. And then at my bookish birthday bash on May 16th, my actual birthday, y'all, I will have my new book, Illicit Love, available for purchase and a couple of merch items as well. But yes, it is a reawakening, reimagining of my literary career. All my old books will be available for purchase on Amazon, but in person, you can get Illicit Love. I'll sign it, all the good stuff. And I just wanted this moment to let the world know and the enemy know that, baby, I'm unstoppable. It was a setback, but I'm not giving up. So we are back and we are fully functioning.
Nothing but the enemy.
Yeah.
Nothing but the enemy. And I'm glad that you took up, some people, they get into these spaces where something happened and it breaks them or it stops them, or I'm not writing no more. I can't believe this happened to me. I love the way that you took that incident and said, this is a rebirth, a rebrand.
Yes.
Re mean
Yes.
again. It doesn't
Yes.
mean I didn't start here. I've been here.
That's
I'm
right.
just reclaiming my spot. And I really,
Reclaiming
like
my time.
right, I'm reclaiming my time, but you're reclaiming your spot too, as
Yes.
the author of these
Thank
books
you.
that so I think that speaks. I hope it's touching somebody. I hope it's impacting somebody, because right now we're operating in spaces right now where everybody is trying to figure out why is this happening to me. You even said, what did I do? You didn't do anything. You were great. That's what you did. You
Come
did
on.
something great. You were great. And now, when you are great and you reach heights, now it's time to go to the next level. And so now it's time to re-innovate, re-elaborate who you are, reintroduce yourself to not
Yes.
only Amazon, but to the world. And so I just
Yes.
applaud you for taking that thought process and not the gloom and doom and, letting that get you to a space where you're ready to give up.
Yes. Now I will tell y'all the truth. Y'all know I am. Come on, somebody. A setback is a setup for a comeback. Yes, I will tell y'all the truth. I gave it about 2 or 3 days of tears. That's all I
That's
got.
cool.
I
That's
gave
cool.
it about 2 or 3 days, and I'm saying that for somebody who feel like, dang, I feel a way about something that happened to me. Baby, give yourself a couple days, let it all out, feel your emotions. But at the end of your feelings, you gotta grab a hold to your faith. And that is what I'm doing. That's what Saturday represents. So, although this book is illicit love, if y'all see me, if I go to a little corner, I might shed a tear, I might shout, baby. Just let me have my moment because it has been a lot for me to get to this point. It's taken a lot for me to even finish the book. When I tell y'all again, it has taken moments for me to write books. This book has taken so much out of me to go ahead and finish or to go ahead and start. It took so much for me to get it done. It is very different from anything that I've ever done before. Y'all will be able to see the evolution in my writing style for those who have been reading my books for a long time. Baby, deep I'm saved. I keep telling people I am saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, but my character's not always saved. These folks is snatching. Okay. They is. They and but I am excited about the work. I'm excited for you guys to get it. Honestly, it is my best work today. It is.
So I have a question for you because I've watched you put books out. Boom,
Mm-hmm.
boom, boom. Not like other artists that you gotta wait. Like once I finish one, I'm ready for the next one. And then even if it's short stories, you keep us engaged.
Yes.
Why do you think that this took so long?
Oh, that is a great question. So around about year 9, so I was putting out books back to back to back. And in my Facebook group, I have been very transparent about my feelings of sometimes not feeling like, is this for me anymore? Like, do I still have it? Because where I thought I would be at a certain amount of time is not where I was. I'm just being real and honest with you guys. I'm like, okay, at this point, I should be making this amount or at this stage. And I wasn't exactly where I wanted to be. So that was very discouraging for me. So I slowed down. I wasn't writing as swiftly as I was. And then when it came to this book, I cannot pinpoint exactly what it was that took so long. I'm gonna be honest. I think that this book is gonna change my life. I don't know how. I don't know how, but I know it's going to change my life. I've even received prophetic words about this book and what it's going to do in the future. So I don't know how it's going to change my life, but I know it will. And I feel like there was some friction. The enemy try to fight us, with
Mhm.
our
Absolutely.
creativity, and I think that's a part of what it was. There was resistance there, but I have been able to get back up after being knocked down. I got back up and knocked down again and got back up. So Saturday is a moment of triumph. I keep saying, I can't believe I got this book done. Oh
Mhm.
my God, y'all! If I told y'all when I finished this book, y'all gonna be like, you're lying. I'm out here promoting the book. I'm like, Lord Jesus, it ain't done, but Lord
I've
help
been
help
there.
me get it.
I've been there. First of all, you already know I had a conversation with you about prescribe. Like I got
Yes,
the tickets out. I booked you as the host. I had the
right.
space. I had paid for everything, and I was
Yeah.
determined. And so my motivation for prescribe was I had to get Sequoia's voice. I
Yes.
had the world had to know that my friend had a voice. And so that motivated me. Like, regardless of how many nights I had to stay up, this was not for me, it was for her. And so I say that to ask you, when the prophetic word that this book is going to change your life, could it be the work and the oil and the
Mm.
fire and all of that had to happen because it won't only change your life, but it's going to change somebody else's life.
You know what? I think so. And then honestly, one of the motivating factors for me in doing this book, first of all, if y'all have read my books before, I like a happily ever after at the end of the series. Now we gonna go through it all the way from the
When
beginning
I
and
say the end, the happily ever after come in the end,
the very end.
the
Okay.
end.
So my endeavor was to give my grandparents the happily ever after that they did not have. They
Mm.
did not get a happily ever after. And one day when it's a movie, amen, I will explain to you guys exactly how they didn't. Were really striving to get the happily ever after, but they didn't get it. So my goal, although their their love was illicit, my God, it was illicit. It was wrong. It was soiled, but they tried to make it right in the end, and they didn't have time. And so my vision with this was to not excuse the wrong, but to give them what they desired or what they tried to get in the end.
So we're so aligned because I'm actually sitting in a room
Hmm.
that I when you sent me back the edited version of
Hmm.
Who's Little Girl, you said you called me and you said it's so good, it's so good. And I said to you, I just want to bring some dignity to my mother's name. You remember that conversation?
Yes, yes, I
And,
do. Yes,
and
yes.
so
Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that till you just said that. Yes.
and so this is
Wow.
kind of how I feel. That's what resonated with what you just said is bringing dignity to a relationship that other people may seen it and say it that's wrong, but
Hmm.
like just bringing the trying to create something wrong or right. I mean right or
Right.
wrong.
Yeah. And I'll be honest. So I shared this story the other day on another podcast I was on. It is so crazy. So I didn't grow up just knowing this story.
Hmm.
What happened is, girl, in fourth grade, I think we moved to Oak
Not fourth
Park.
grade.
Yes, we moved to Oak Park. Okay, and so again, I'm West Side. Okay, so we moved to Oak Park. I started going to school in Oak Park, and I became this tight with this girl. So her uncle was a pastor, and she invited us to come and sing at her church. We invited them to come and sing at our church. And when we came over to their church, girl, this lady come up to my daddy and was like, "Hey." And she described herself as his sister-in-law, and I was so confused. Now, this is not in fourth grade. This is maybe some years later. I was confused because I know my daddy brothers and I know their wives, and none of them had looked like this lady. So I'm like, who is this lady? But in my head, I'm like, this we got to be talking about like church sisters or something like you know how people, oh, this sister so and so and brother so and so. We got to be talking about that. But no, she specifically said sister-in-law, and I'm like, say what now, baby? We got in the car. I said, Hoppo, who that woman? Daddy, who was that lady who was all talking about sister-in-law? And he said, that's my brother's wife. And I said, care? Which brother? I started speaking Spanish. He said, that's my brother on my dad's side wife. And I said, you have a brother on your daddy's side? So my dad's father died when he was 14 or 15. So
Hmm.
I never got to know his dad's side of the, I never got to know his dad's side of the family. And the reason why I didn't know them is because my grandparents, had an illicit love. So the products of their love, I never got to know his family, my
Mm.
grandfather's family. So yeah, that was all interesting. I'm like, oh my God, so the girl who I went to school with is my cousin.
Cousin. Mm.
Ain't that
That's
crazy?
deep.
That was her
That's deep.
grandmother who came up to my daddy. That girl is my cousin, and we found each other at school and became friends. That is so insane.
Are you
So
guys
that's
still
one part.
close?
Are we still close? Not really close, but like we see each other on social media. It's always hey cousin, whatever. But we're not as close just because of proximity, like spacing
Okay.
wise. But we cool. If I see her somewhere, it's all love. And I even see her grandmother every now and then. It's all love. It's just so crazy how it happened.
I can't wait to read it. I've read everything that you've ever
Yes.
written, and so
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can't wait to see the evolution of that
Thank
pen.
you. Thank you.
I cannot wait. I'm extremely excited to see the evolution of the pen because I thought the evolution of the pen came with Homecoming.
Yes.
So
That was a stretch.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh my goodness. Like and so to see and you can see the evolution through the Church Girl series as the Church
Yeah.
Girl series grew, but Homecoming was such a different style of writing for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I would say, as a writer, I really okay. So, Church Girls 1 and 2, I was it was my start at the fiction world. By 3, I was like, okay, I found my voice. I found my voice. When we get into Skylar, I'm like, okay, I done I done tapped in. This is who I am now. I'm fully knowing who I am as a writer. So I'm loving that you are able to pinpoint, and my readers who have been reading with me for a long time, y'all are able to pinpoint exactly like, oh no, she snapped with this one. No, okay, it's a different thing on this one. I'm loving that. Like in the beginning with the church girl scenes, there was no can you say STX on here? There was
well,
none of
you
that.
got there. You definitely got there. You got there.
Right. So there was none of that in the church girl. Well, part of the reason, so like people have even asked me because there was an emphasis placed on the fact that Cheyenne was abstaining till marriage, and they're like, "Okay, girl, when they got married, you didn't show us the sextivities." And I'm like, "Girl, because at that time I wasn't comfortable, and obviously I still to this day I still have never partaken." But I wasn't comfortable in showing that. I didn't know that I could. I was like, okay, are the Saints gonna stone me if I do that?
Mhm.
Well, I learned that they wouldn't, so I started working, and that pen been going ever since.
Yeah, you start working, baby. You start working. But even in the
Hilarious.
beginning, there was a stark difference between Cheyenne and her friends.
Yes.
You were able to really see that, that every girl, every church girl is not the same.
Right.
And so
That was
then it
important
just
to me.
yeah. And then it just started to spread to different characters and different activities and things of that nature. But you can
Yeah.
I mean, I think even in the beginning, I know you said that you were uncomfortable, but even in the beginning, you were able to show the duality of women, and regardless to,
Yes.
so yeah. I
Yeah.
don't want to tell
That was
tell
that
too
was my
much because I
goal.
want people to buy that. I want them to buy the book.
Yes.
Yeah. So
You know what?
go and
And
buy
we
church.
can say this though. One second. We can say this. I'm thank you. I wanted to thank you for pointing that out. Um, and my goal with church girls is to show that church girls are regular girls. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got the girls, the abstaining girls, you got the girls that I ain't doing all that. You got the girls that be in church every 2 business days. You got the church the girls that's like, you know what, I'm gonna come on Christmas and Easter, but that's it. All of us, it takes all of us to make this circle.
Mm-hmm.
And so for different people have different favorites in the series. I love that. I love that some people are like, Lisa is my girl. She real. Cheyenne is my girl. She business minded. Cheyenne is more so like me, but she get on my nerves a little bit too. But she kind of like me. Then you got Selena, who's kind of more in the back seat, but also when it's time, when it's time, she got hands.
Mm-hmm.
We got Miriam. We know Miriam. My God, the villain. And then we got and we got Skylar. So it's an evolution of friendship, betrayal, family, and all that type of stuff. And
And
yeah,
the
and
men,
the men.
and the men. So the men. It it's so hard. So hard not to give things away. But one of the things that I really appreciated about the men, and I've seen this in other authors after after this, but I really feel like probably that was the beginning of seeing that that men love a man will love a woman regardless of the baggage. Like they if they love a woman, they gonna pick them bags up and they gonna,
Yeah.
they gonna make it happen. And so I don't want to tell the story, but you get to see that, and you get to
Yes.
see the art of forgiveness.
Yes.
You get to, there are so many things, so many lessons that this
Yes.
series take us through. And so I can't say this enough for those who are listening. Go out as we wait for this. Go out and purchase. Can they purchase them on your site?
Yes, you can get them on my website,
Yeah.
SheridanSDavis.com, or you can go to Amazon. They're back on Amazon too. So if you
Go to
have
her site.
Kindle,
Go to her site first, because Amazon
thank
take
you.
our money. And so if you can, please, for indie artists, please visit her sites. Can you give us that again?
Yes, it's my name, SheridanSDavis.com. Yep, it's right there on the screen.
And for the prescribers, yes, for the prescribers, put it in the chat,
Yes,
click it, do something. But let's support each other. And
thank
not
you.
going on a soapbox, but I have to, like, I have a platform and I have to just tell the truth on the platform. I hear people that say, like, I don't read this, I don't read black arts, I read this kind of, whether you read it or not, buy it.
Yes,
Buy it and give it to somebody. But we have to get in a space that we are willing to support each other regardless, because we don't have the privilege of getting support from others. We are all we got, for real. A white artist, all of us is going to read that, but we have to make sure that we support our own, because we have a story that needs to be told. And to be honest, film don't happen unless somebody put a pen to a paper. And that happens from books. A lot of movies that we fall in love with started from a book that turned into a script that went on a screen. And so if we want to continue to see ourselves on screen, we want to see ourselves in these pages, we have to support each other. We have
amen.
to. And we can do that with cutting out the middleman. I guarantee y'all, we
Yes,
can make it happen. And so I'm gonna ask everybody that's listening right now, anybody that see it later, anybody that go to the YouTube and pull it up, go to that site and order something.
thank you.
Please. That's my
Thank
soapbox.
you.
That's
Come
my
on,
soapbox.
somebody. Thank you to Demaya and my mom for putting it in the comment section. I really appreciate it, because we do have to support. I definitely, and I go out of my way to support other authors. Um, Listen, Kisha had her book release, had me hosting, and I bought a book. She was trying to give it to me. I'm like, girl, no, I'm gonna buy
Sure
a book.
did. She sure did.
Yes, I support other authors, because I'm gonna do unto people as I would have them do unto me. So I really appreciate you.
So check your phone before I go to the next question. Check your phone,
Okay.
because I sent you a
Yes,
message before I asked my question. But
sure.
um, okay, so before we go to that, because I want to end with that, can you
Okay.
tell? Do you have tickets left? First and foremost.
Yes, I have a few tickets left, so y'all go ahead and grab the. When I tell you a few, I got a few tickets. Jesus. So SheridanSDavis.com. Just go to that events tab and grab your. Let me tell y'all something, baby. We showing out Saturday, okay? So I wanted a bookish birthday bash. My vision for books, okay, and the way I like to read, yeah, I'm saying, and I like a little glass of wine with a book. My favorite type of day is raining outside. I got a glass and a book. Hello, I love it. So we're gonna have some light bites. We're also gonna have some espresso martinis. It just worked with the vibe. The vibes will be set. I am going to be interviewed, and we're gonna have a party too. So make sure y'all come on out, because it's gonna be a time.
And if any of the prescribers want to hang with me, I will be there. I will be there this weekend. So get your tickets. Let's get cute and let's come represent. So,
Yes.
with,
Oh, people have been asking me too, like, what's the dress code? What's the dress code? Listen, y'all know typically when I have an event, I do be putting the dress code together. But for this one, I didn't even do that. I just want y'all to come and have a good time. Just be casually cute and come and vibe with me, take some pictures and all that good stuff.
well, let me just tell y'all know how she coming. Let's just let's not make no mistakes. If you seen her at the book bash, she was showing them legs. She was out there. She came. She did not come to play. If you came to the gala,
Uh-huh.
Baby, she did not come to play. So if
Thank
you
you.
want to be in the room with greatness, come great. Don't have
Yes.
step. Come great. Come great.
I
Cause
do
she
love to
coming.
get dressed, honey.
She
And I
coming,
get that
baby.
I think I get that from my grandmother. People be asking me, I have been asked, like, girl, where do you get your sense of style? My mom loved to be dressed. My grandmother who inspired, okay, this character, she loved to be dressed. So yeah, y'all come and put them clothes on. Let me show y'all my nails. These are my birthday nails. Okay. I'm showing out.
Baby, and mama don't just dress, she beat the mess out of that face, baby. She beat that face
Yes.
for the gods every time. You're never gonna catch her without that good beat.
Period. Yes. I love my
So you
mama.
come
Thank
from
you for
good stock.
watching
You come
mine.
from good, cute stock, baby. Cute stock, cute
Thank
stock. They
you.
keep it cute. So we have 15 minutes left. I am
Yes.
going to ask that I'm begging if you don't mind reading short passage, just give us something from your new work, your new project.
Okay, sure. And again, you guys come on out this Saturday. Get your ticket at SheridanSDavis.com. Get your ticket to the Bookish Birthday Bash. The tickets are only $25, guys. $25, and you will have books and merch available for purchase as well. Y'all know I don't do no events for $25, so I was feeling real generous.
Because I'm
Okay,
serious.
so all right, here
I'm
we
side
go.
eyeing you.
I know. Okay, y'all. So here is the prologue of the book. All right. Darkness painted the skies a shade of pitch black that was usually reserved for midnight. Day should have been breaking soon, but the sun's arrival had been put on pause by the monsoon. Flashes of lightning bolts stained the vaults of heaven for seconds at a time. Violent winds tossed heavy flakes throughout the air, causing them to crash into one another. They were so vicious that they had a sound, a high pitched sound. The sounds of thunder, clapping, and crashing jolted children from their sleep. It was a winter rainstorm. The juxtaposition between the calmness of the sounds of rain and the ferocious blare of the storm could not be missed. The irony was that it was cold outside, as one would expect in Chicago in December, but not quite cold enough for the droplets of rain to freeze and produce snow. Inside, however, it was as cold as ice. As the precipitation dripped down the windows and clung to its panes, this woman was inside her bedroom of the last 8 years. Each year played like a motion picture film inside her head as she lay paralyzed. She knew how many years it had become because her husband purchased their home the year her oldest started preschool. New level, new house, he stated with a Kool-Aid smile. They pledged this as their forever home. It was massive. 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, a finished basement, offices, a theater, a game room, the whole 9 yards. When her husband first presented this home to her, she was overjoyed. Now the bowels of hell loomed over it. Jake, she whimpered his name with a shaky voice. Her vocal cords were drenched in fear. The sight before her was a shell of the man she had known since college. Jacob Love was a walking conundrum. He was a human embodiment of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Julian had only known his good side, though. She knew the great provider, attentive dad, and diligent attorney. She knew the loving side. His wife had never known how cutthroat he could be like others had. The Negro's reach was far and wide. At the sound of his command, bodies dropped like flies in the city of Chicago. The underworld is where he thrived. He'd only put a facade of goodness to mask the terror that awaited. His days of deciding the fate of others was coming to an end. His days had been numbered. Proof of his demonic activities had been threatening to rise to the surface for years now. It had never bothered him until now. Jacob, Jake was acquainted with death. He was the Grim Reaper. However, today was his day of reckoning. Today was his appointed time with fate. Everyone has an appointment, only no one knows when they will clock in or out. It was his turn to reap every seed he had sown. Usually he could silence his victims, but not this time. The clock was ticking and he needed a way out of his problems. Dressed in only a black lace panty and bra set, Julian had been getting ready to slip on her dress when Jacob appeared. She could hear the music, the Christmas themed carols that played every year around this time. It was her favorite season. Although her radio rotated the same 10 songs, she grew anxious to hear them this time of year. She could hear the pitter patter of her children's feet outside the door. She could hear the belting of an older white man crooning about silver bells. It was the time to get dressed. Their dinner party guests had already begun arriving, but the look in his eyes as he entered the room made her forget all about preparing for her grand entrance. Her hands shook at the beat of the rapid wind slamming against the windows. Fear gripped her so tight that she was beginning to choke. She was trying to think of something, anything to say to her husband to bring him back. This empty vessel in front of her was an imposter. Jacob, she whispered as tears began to sprout from her eyes. What the heck are you? She couldn't even get the question out as she stared at him. He saw her there, shaking and crying, but he never answered. His face twisted with a mask of pain and fury. It was slick with sweat. The veins in his neck bulged, his breathing erratic. He was no longer the charming attorney who had once promised her the world, nor the doting father their community admired. No, tonight he was something else. The cold metal of the pew pew, because I don't think you can say the word on here, gleamed under the chandelier's dim light as he raised it, aimed it straight at her. Julian's breath caught in her throat. She took a step back, her hands trembling as she lifted them in surrender, dropping the red dress to the floor. She didn't even have time to wait on what in God's name could have possibly done to warrant this lot in life. A tragic end was her portion. Why? Why would he ever do her this way? She had pledged her life and fidelity to this man to be the queen on his chessboard, and now this is how she was repaid. He had gifted her with bags, jewelry, shoes, a home, and children. And now she was being snatched away from it all by the same man who had given it. Jacob was always in control. Jacob, please, she begged, her voice barely carrying over the muffled sounds of the Christmas music playing in the background. The party was just getting started. She was sure the laughing, drinking guests were unaware that death was looming above them. Tears blurred her vision. I'm almost done, you guys. Tears blurred her vision. What about the kids? They can't find me like this. Jacob blinked as if something within him momentarily softened. His lips parted, and for a fleeting moment, she thought she had reached him. But then, with a sudden jerking movement, he turned the gun on himself. No, she screamed. The shot rang out, deafening, final. The blood and brain matter splattered against the ivory walls. Jacob's body crumpled to the floor, lifeless, his demons finally consuming him. His right eyeball landed near her perfectly pedicured white toenails. Blotches of his maroon blood soaked through their ivory walls and equally as pure carpeting. She was drenched in his blood and coated in the weight of his decision. I'll stop there. You muted, sis.
I'm just talking.
Okay, there we go.
That was deep. I can only imagine what the book is going to be like, and I know that everyone is listening. I know you are intrigued, and so I hope you are intrigued enough to go and buy that ticket and get in
Yes.
the space so that you can meet us at the book bash.
Yes.
The bookish birthday. I apologize. So any last words? We got a few minutes to go. I have something to announce, but do you have anything that you would like us to know?
Yes, I want to thank you so much again for having me on your platform. Baby, let me tell y'all something. Dr. Tab can get the people in a room. I want y'all to know that. In case y'all don't know that, this lady can get the people in a room. So I am grateful for the opportunity to come here on your platform and for your listeners to hear my work. And again, go to SheridanSDavis.com. Get your ticket to the Bookish Birthday Bash. They're just $25. And when you get there, we are going to have a wonderful time. The books will be available for purchase. And I would love to sign y'all books. I love doing that. So come on and take pictures with me. Have a good time. Meet somebody. I know all kind of people. meet somebody, you might find the answer to your next question or whatever. So just meet somebody there and network and all the good stuff. So I can't wait to see y'all then.
And so for the prescribers, you know that we have a prescribed the Bestie Book Club. So uh,
Yes.
get the book so that we can use this book as one of our Bestie Book Club discussions, and maybe
Yes.
our good girlfriend will come on and talk about it and answer some questions for us. Thank
Girl,
you.
I'm coming.
I know. That's why I love you. I just threw that out there. Uh,
Yes.
so I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. I have one last announcement. This is let me remove this. This is the make sure that you get your tickets again, www.sheridandavis.com. Um, and I have one last announcement. I will be at the Solid Rock Gospel Church on the 23rd, and I will be talking about stopping the cycles of sex trafficking, but not from a perspective of just a workshop, from a Christian perspective, biblically based. I talk a lot, I do a lot, but I am rooted in the word, and anybody that's ever been in the room with me know that
Absolutely.
I come from a biblical space. And so I am going to use this opportunity to get the body of Christ to understand why we must have a fight in the anti-trafficking war. So if you are available, it is a free event. It is free. May 23rd from 12 to 2:30. The address is 45 East 71st Street. Again, the name of the church is Solid Rock Gospel Church, where the pastor is Pastor Paxton. So if you have a moment, this is his wife's event. This is her annual event. And I'm honored that she thought enough of me to bring me in a space so that I can bring some knowledge to the body of Christ. Because again, sometimes we look at different things as a them problem when it really is a problem that is rooted in it's a spiritual fight. It's not a fight among men, it is a spiritual fight. And so if you've ever been on the street with me, if you've ever done outreach, you know that we are not wrestling with man. We are wrestling with spirits, principalities, not man, not that young girl that we're trying to talk to. She is overcome by a demonic spirit. And I think that we need to really start addressing certain community issues, societal issues from a spiritual and a biblical standpoint if we want to really make an impact. So
Absolutely.
if you have a moment, if you are available, please come out. I'm going to be talking about what is sex trafficking. I'm going to give my spiel about how to recognize and how to prevent, but I am coming from a biblical space. I am grounded in the word, and I will be talking about these issues from a spiritual standpoint. So again, thank you so much, sis, for coming. I will see you
Thank you.
Saturday. Make sure you jump on that site and buy some books, and get we'll announce the date when she'll be here. I'll announce the book club date where we can all read it together. I'll announce it in the, y'all know I'm bad about announcing it in the beginning of the month, but I will announce it the month that we start. I want to give everybody an opportunity to read. I want to give everybody an opportunity to purchase so that we can really get into this pen that she didn't put down to this paper and really
Thank you.
discuss things, and we'll have her come on and answer some questions. So get your questions ready. Next week, make sure that you join me and Minister Blackman as we do Worship Wednesday. We're coming from a space again of warfare. We are in a particular time in this country, on globally. We are experiencing some things that we have never experienced before. And in order to come out on the right side of that, we have to understand that this is warfare, and we got to know from which our help comes, and it is not by man. I thank you guys again for tuning in. I thank you for allowing me to pop in on this Wednesday evening. I will get a consistent schedule again, but just not right now. I'll see you next week, and I'll announce when I'll be popping back in again. Thank you again to my good girlfriend, Sheridan. Thank you so much. I will see you Saturday, and I hope to see you all Saturday in the building. I'm going to put this back up there one more time for the people in the back that didn't get the link. Make sure that you get your ticket, get your book, and get ready for a wonderful time on Saturday. Thank you, sis. Give us
Thank you.
inspiring words.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Give me one last
Oh, okay.
inspiring word.
Okay, no problem at all. So just as I expressed to you guys earlier that this was difficult for me to finally sit down and get out. I don't know what your dream is. I don't know what your goal is, what God has called you to do. But I want you to know that just because it's difficult does not mean it's not ordained. And in fact, I think a lot of times the things that are going to bless us the most, we might struggle to get into them to find our correct footing. But I want to encourage you that as you're finding your correct footing, as you're finding your space in life and where God has called you to be, do not give up. I don't care if you have to crawl till you get there. If you've taken 3 steps forward and 1 step back, just keep taking the steps until you get to where you're going. So don't give up. I love you guys so much. And whatever your dream is, just stay tuned and God's going to do it. You just got to stay tuned and stay true to who He has called you to be. That's it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Honor your assignment, people. Honor your
Yes.
assignment. Make sure that you share this live. If you're looking at this late, make sure that you go on, and even if you get it, if you are looking at this after the book bash, make sure that you go and buy the book on the site. The site will be available where you can buy the book. We will see you next week, same time, same place for Worship Wednesday. Thank you for winding down with me on this Wednesday evening, and I will see you next week. Have a great week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye bye.